Welcome back, all of you, to the fifth episode now. So we got the season done. It's over. As much as we sort of, ended up on a bit of a disappointment, really. There's plenty of positive to take from the season. We weren't really expecting to make the playoffs this season as much as it really was doable. I mean, seeing that the Astros and Mariners are both sort of led the division. Astros have won the division, only 84 wins. And especially when we go into things here, um, we've been pretty much a 500 team the whole season, really, other than sort of August. Um, so we lost a few more. Capel got injured. We lost a few more games than we sort of had. Most of the other games. If we won two more of those games, we'd be on the same record as the Astros and the Mariners there. So it's a bit of a bit of pill to swallow there. But what can we do? We weren't expecting to make the playoffs this season, so all I'm going to say is, we can take plenty of positives from this. For this episode, we're really just going to take sort of a deep dive into all the statistics. We're going to get the playoffs done. We're still at the start of the playoffs here. We can get that done. We're going to go into sort of all of our teams, see all the statistics really, and sort of make a plan really for where we go from here. Because there's a couple of different directions we can go. We can sort of, I say invest in free. We won't have much money, but we can try and bring a couple of veterans in and sort of, especially if we perform as like we are now, it won't take much more for us to be able to make the playoffs and sort of go from there to sort of try and increase the fan interest, increase the market size, increase the loyalty, to try and bring in a bit more money, increase the budget and sort of start improving in that way. With the higher budget we get, we can sort of go from there. Or we can go for broke in terms of trading away anything with any value, build up the farm system and sort of go from there. I'm going to probably settle somewhere sort of more somewhere more in the middle, somewhere slightly more realistic. But what we're going to do is we're going to sort of jump in and sort of see where we're at with sort of the stats and sort of take notes of anyone we want to keep or release for this year, really, sort of coming up. So, to start off with, we've sort of gone into our pitching, and we want to sort it this way, especially your FIP, sort of anything under 100 is above league average. So, I mean, pitching-wise, we were really not that bad this year at all, especially surprisingly, from our starters, really were not too bad at all. I mean, JP Sears had a phenomenal season, 150 ERA plus, it's the opposite for ERA plus to FIP, anything above 100. So, according to his ERA plus, he was 50% better than league average. And really good season from him. Was not expecting that at all. He's only had 1 year and 81 days sort of major league service time. Plenty of team control left. He's only on 720 grand league minimum contract. Really, really good season from him. And he's definitely someone we can sort of keep for the next few years. See how he pans out really. The one thing I will say, as much as we, our pitching hasn't been a problem, we really have been quite good. I mean, we haven't really got that, locked down ace at all. Plenty of these are sort of, decent enough guys we can plug into sort of starting rotation. They're more lower end, sort of back of the rotation guys. Waldichuk though, really, really good season. He did start off in, we go to this. He did start off as a reliever. He got 30 innings as a reliever for a 59 FIP minus, which is phenomenal. 206 ERA plus. But then when it came up to a starter, FIP was a bit more, a bit closer to average here, but his ERA plus was still there. So we'll definitely take that from a starter with him. And then furthermore as well, Carl Muller, he had a really good season for us, bit closer to league average here, but anything sort of positive, you'll take that, from your starters as well, especially from Carl Muller, we'll take that. We really do need, a big time starter like an ace, but we'd take a lot of this from these guys. I mean, the only real sort of negatives we got from some of these guys, Paul Blackburn, he was really, really good to start off the season, I believe. if we go to sort of our pitching splits, where is it? So, I say to start off the season, not particularly. He started off well in April, fit minus wise, and then just sort of tailed off. He wasn't really any good pretty much most of the season. Really, I was sort of he kidded me into believing he was pretty decent. That's a bit of a disappointment. As well as that, I say a bit of a disappointment. Medina didn't play very often. He pitched 11 innings, so that's absolutely fine. Joe Weiland, didn't expect much from him anyway. He is a fan favourite. That's the main thing. Up in the fan interest, getting more, bums on seats in the park. And then Fujinami, he's the biggest disappointment here. He's on a contract. We can pay him $3.25 million again next season. The thing is, he walks far too many guys. It's not even like the BABIP was crazy high here. ERA plus below average, but his FIP is just even worse. That's really, really poor. He's worth negative 1.3 WAR, and he doesn't even have a good personality. The only thing is, if we can get a good, he has the pitching profile here to really put in a good season or two here. He's got the stamina, so for $3 million it might be worth. We don't want to lose him for nothing, so it might be worth giving him another shot. But I'm I'm undecided on that at the moment. If we can get anything for him, the thing is his value is going to be so negligible. We won't be able to get much for him anyway, so I'll sort of see how that goes. I haven't really sort of made a concrete decision on him at the moment, but as far as our pitching goes, I'm really, really happy with how that's gone so far. So as we jump into our lineups, we did sort of really quite tail off sort of towards the end of the year in terms of our lineups. Obviously Pache was never any good with the bat. The whole season being a really, really big disappointment. I mean, you never expected, anything phenomenal with him from the bat. But if he could get close to league average, with the defense he's got, he would be absolutely phenomenal. But luckily for us, we have Estru Ruiz. Really, really unexpected. Obviously, we started him off as a right fielder at the start of the season, but he's played really, really good defense as well in centre field. As far as I say that, as far as I'm aware, I basically really only work off zone rating, so that's what I take for that. And I feel like he was good. He's put up a 5 WAR. Getting on base 350 pretty much. 111 OPS plus. Above average batter, 11% better than your average. 5 WAR, playing really good defense in centre field. You'd take that all day long from him, and he's someone who we would definitely have for the foreseeable future. I can't see us trading him away. Togli as well. Probably one of our best pickups of the season. That trade was really, really something for us. He's 121 OPS plus at first base. He actually plays really good first base defense. Not that it matters too much, but really, really good batting profile. Major league, so much team control. Pretty much no major league service time here. So really, really good player to sort of get hold of. As well as that, Jordan Diaz, he only played 38 games, but he was good when he was in. He could be someone for next season. We'd definitely get him in. Jonah Bride as well, in limited time as well. He wasn't too bad, so we'd give him a shot again next year. But Connor Capel, he was the one that, as much as Estru Ruiz, really shocked me. Connor Capel, made the All-Star team. He was really phenomenal. 130 OPS plus is really, really good. 15 homers. He hasn't quite got the power of a, to be a really hard-hitting corner outfielder, but, with a 360, OBP, 3.3 WAR, I'd take that all day long, really, from him. So, really, really happy with his performance. Seth Brown, sort of, came back to sort of closer to league average. Bit disappointed with him, corner outfielder. He did put 20 homers, but, not phenomenal. He's really there for his bats. Aguilar as well. I mean, he'll be gone, but, negative WAR, league average bat for a first baseman isn't phenomenal. Shea Langoliers as well. The fact he sort of, really, really tailed off towards the end. He did put up, pretty much 30 home runs, but, below league average hitter. I mean, you'll take it from a catcher. He does play good catching defense, but, he's really supposed to be someone who's going to be a really good bat for us. So I'd expect him to improve next year. Candelario did sort of tail off in the end as well. That was, a bit unfortunate. We sort of, picked him up to help us try and make the playoffs, but obviously that didn't happen. Carlos Perez as well, really tailed off. 81 OPS plus. Not ideal, but he is a backup catcher, so we'll probably just keep him again for next year because Pozo in AAA was pretty poor. Osvaldo Cabrera as well. Actually, really, really happy with him. He was awful for New York, but he came in for us. He's batting sort of around league average, but he's a really good utility man. We'll take that if you can play any one of these positions. He's playing decent second base defense, and we'll take that from him. Completely if he can sort of be the utility man, come in wherever we need him. We'll keep taking that from him. And then Nick Allen as well actually improved his bat a little. Well, he's well below league average here. 74 OPS plus. He plays phenomenal defense though, but it's not ideal. We'll obviously keep him because if he can bring that bat around, the defense is too good to ignore really. Obviously the same with Pache. That's the only reason he's here is his defense. If he can bring his bat around. But obviously Gage Workman we brought up for 30 games. OPS plus of 31. Not ideal at all, but it was only 30 games. He'll probably be up, for the start of next season again. See what he can do. Hopefully, sort of, picks up a bit more from there. Really, we'll see what he's like in spring training at least. And then, that's sort of, how we got on sort of in the majors wise. But a couple of other things I sort of, like to note down. Our fan interest started off at 30. At the start of the season, and we got up to 48, so it's really gonna help us in terms of sort of looking to increase the market size, the fan loyalty if we keep getting this up. And it was actually one of the owner goals, of course. I think he's actually we're improving on every single one of these things. Improve our fan interest. It's gone from 30 to 48. He's really happy with our team record this year. Obviously, we weren't expected to be really that great at all. And then as well, there was one other thing I did note down. It was to do with our attendance. I'm not entirely sure where I will find that, but front office. I'm not entirely sure where I will find that, but I had a little look through and I did find that originally, and we'd actually ranked at 20. That was it. If I go to team stats, so once statistics, team stats. That was it. At least I thought it was. Find that. Actually, I might well be able to find that here. I can't find it anywhere. In terms of that, I'll come back to you guys. I'll try and find out where I found that. But we were ranked 23rd in terms of our attendance, obviously, which is not ideal, but we were ranked dead last season. So, to take it from there, from dead last up to 23rd in terms of attendance, I'd take that. We're starting to get more people in the park, and, hopefully that will lead to an increased budget from there. But what I will do is I'll, sort through a few things and I'll jump back to you. Here we go, we got it here. So, I may have got a little bit ahead of myself. We are 23rd in terms of attendance. We're above Miami, Colorado, Washington, Pittsburgh, who you'd expect us to be in front of, really. Well, I say who you'd expect we shouldn't be in front of them, but no, we're 23rd, so we're rising in terms of that. At least getting more people into the park. We are 28th in revenue though. Obviously, I believe our tickets were a bit cheaper, but to rise above Colorado and Miami, we'll take that. It's not saying much, but obviously we had the lowest league payroll here. Half that of the next team, pretty much close to half that of the Pirates. In terms of our season tickets, we're dead last. Media revenue, dead last. Merchandising, dead last. Current budget, dead last. Total, expenses, dead last, and so is our revenue as well. So, financially, we do need to improve upon a lot of that. And, that's going to hopefully lead to improvements within the organisation. They both sort of, coincide with each other, really. So one other thing I did want to sort of jump into before we sort of move on and sim these playoffs is just the minor league system, really. Just to sort of note a couple of players, I was really impressed with. Really is so. For example, Castagnosi came in straight into single A. He's batting 110. Above league average. Didn't play many games. Goldner, I believe he was 122 OPS plus. Really, really good from him. Came in, he's only 19. He did play in college, but he's gone into A-ball, batting a 122 OPS plus. In terms of that, Montgomery as well, fit minus 81. Really, really good from him. He'll start in A-ball next season, and he'll get a full season there. Really, really happy with him and his selection. In terms of that, I believe I wasn't impressed with a lot of these guys, really, in terms of rookie ball. I do think I'll try and make a lot of changes to our personnel for next season, if we have the money. It's something I would have loved to been able to do at the start of the save, really, but we didn't have the money for it. So it's something I'll be looking to do at some point, as soon as we do have the money to be available to do so. Clark Elliott was really quite good, actually, in the end. Really good in A-ball. Came up to high A, hasn't been great there, but he is developing at least. Buelvas, I believe, he was phenomenal in A-ball. Came up to double A. He's been high A. He's been a bit of a disappointment, really. As well as that, so if we go to overview, a couple of guys. So, our first round pick last year, Susak, really, really good in A-ball. 110 OPS plus. Came up to high A, even better, 133 OPS plus. Really, really good for us there. So I brought him up to double A just towards the end of the season. Obviously, wasn't that great, but we see how he starts off next season. Double A is definitely the right place for him to be. Obviously, Max Muncy, really, really, really good in high A. Phenomenal. 156 OPS plus. Came up to double A. Hasn't been as impressive here. Below league average, but we'll see where he goes from here. But in terms of sort of like a plan for sort of the off season, I'm looking to keep a lot of these guys. Realistically, we don't have the money to sort of sway elsewhere. We might try and make a couple of trades. If we do have the money, invest in a couple of free agents, because I do want to put up a good record again. I don't want to be right at the bottom, although that may be sort of realistically what will happen. We want to keep up in that fan interest. Up the sort of finances. Otherwise, we're pretty much going to be stuck here for for a long, long time. But obviously, if we want to replace the coaches, if we want to upgrade our sort of player development budget, which is if we go to player development here, it's at 20 million. Realistically, I like to put that at 36 million, which is the max that you can do for that. That's where I like to put it. Really, we want to get as much player development as we can from our farm system to keep improving that. Obviously, our owner did want us to do that as well. We want to sort of replace all the coaches, but we also want to stay good. We don't have the money to do them all. So it's one of those, we sort of, see what's available and see where we go from there. But we're going to skim through the playoffs. I'll get back to you when the World Series is done. We'll have a look through sort of how that got on. Okay, so I've got some great news. It's the international showcase. It's a new thing that they've added to this year's OOTP 24. It's a new way of doing the international free agents. Usually they would have been done sort of at the start of July, start of June, start of July. Not entirely sure. But it's a new way they're doing this now, where you actually get to invite them all, and they have a whole new way of doing it. In terms of, beforehand you used to just offer 5 million to the best prospect realistically, and you just cross your fingers and hope to get them. But now, we all have the budget, 4.75 million cap, and there's other ways of doing it. So you get to invite them to a monthly training session. From what I can see, this is the first time I've sort of gone through it, but you get to invite 10 possible players, and by doing so you improve your relationship with them. But also as well, you can see the interest from all the other teams in the league. So in terms of that as well, you can see the sort of the demands. There's a lot more players than what there usually would be. This is just the batters. If I go to all players here, really, really good way of doing it. So you can now actually get multiple players rather than just you get your one good player. So you might well actually, target a couple of players who are offering a lower demand, who are sort of, diamonds in the rough realistically. If they have a low interest, they won't, you won't have to offer much more than this. But if they have a very high league interest, you may be trying to outbid another team and their demand will drive it up and up and up. So I think it's a really, really good way to sort of, add this. And especially for us, sort of being the A's, I realistically don't see us going, all out for one guy. I can see us sort of, going through, for multiple players, they're only 16-year-olds. It's the same with the high school pitchers or the high school players. Don't know how they're going to develop. It's, a boom or bust really. Most of the time they're not going to develop. They're not going to work out. It's even more so with these. So realistically, you want to hedge your bets by getting more of them in, hoping that one or two of them might develop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through these and sort of add them all to sort of my training. So sort of how that will work. Here you have your international scouting screen. You can see who you've added, and I'll go through and add that, and then we'll run through all the players that I've added into here. Right, so I've got that all set up here. So I've gone for 6 position players, 4 pitchers here. I think it's a really, really, really quite a nice selection. Gone for this catcher here, so I've got it on OSA. Obviously at the base, he'd be horrendous. Here's a catcher though. We'll see what he's got. Passable catcher ability. The catcher arm is a bit, meh. But we'll see. We'll see how he turns out in terms of his batting profile. Next guy is David Hash. Really, really good corner outfielder. Great outfield arm. Good enough range. Obviously the error is a little bit low, but OSA really aren't high on him. So if we get a bit of a better scout report on him, and our scout's still really quite high on him, he might be someone who has sort of a low league interest. He is durable as well, that we can get for quite relatively cheap as well. I say that he is demanding 2 million here, but next guy is Luis Ramos. Really good infield range, infield arm. Isn't going to ever really be able to play shortstop. The turn double play isn't phenomenal. Really isn't ideal at all. But he could make good contact. OSA, similar on him as we are. Then I think his turn double play is a little bit better actually, which is quite nice. Then we've got Alarcon. Really, really good personality, high work ethic, high loyalty, low greed. OSA are really low on him. We're really quite high on him. Depends how these defense. He is a corner outfielder realistically, but he's a flyable hitter. Hopefully his power is more up here, and is a bit higher than what OSA thinks. So we'll see how that goes really. David Herrera as well. Be a really, really good third baseman. OSA, similar to him as we are. It's really quite nice. Contreras, he'd be an unbelievable hitter. I mean, he won't walk much, but this is phenomenal. If he turns out to be a little bit like this anyway. OSA, a little bit lower on him than we are, but still think he's going to be a phenomenal bat. So I'll take that. Switch hitter as well. And then in terms of our pitchers, I'm really, really quite happy with these guys. Ismael Ramos, high work ethic, low greed, good stamina, hold runners, already throwing 92 to 94, he's 16, Venezuelan, would have good stuff, hopefully the movement would come up, decent, you have a pretty good fastball, decent sinker, but that circle change would be phenomenal if that comes around. And then we've got Juan Suala, high leader, high intelligence, great stamina, could be a really, really good pitcher here, phenomenal control. And then Luis Palafox. This is, the movements, that's unbelievable. With slider, curveball, changeup, cutter. I mean, that's an unbelievable mix. He doesn't pitch very, unbelievably fast, but, this pitch mix could be unreal for us. Great hold runners, great stamina, really good movement control stuff. Great pitching prospect here in Palafox. And then I've also gone for Sergio Murillo. Phenomenal stamina, as well as hold runners. He's just got, he'll just have a load of, really good pitches, really. Nothing phenomenal, but, he'll be throwing six pitches, if the curveball comes around. I wouldn't want him to throw many of those if it only, stays at 35. But, really, really good pitcher here. So those who have all added to these, you invite them once a month. You up your relationship with them. The better relationship you get with them, the more likely they are to sort of, be interested in signing with you. So we leave it at that for this month. The low interest, league interest in all of them at the moment, obviously because no one else has invited them to any camps. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll finish off the playoffs. Because at the moment, if we go to playoff coverage, playoff tree, it's the Red Sox, Twins, and the Braves versus the Dodgers. The Astros ended up beating the Mariners in the wild card, and then the Astros lost to the Twins here. So we might as well just sim this and see how this goes. So if we sim to the end of the playoffs. Looks like we had Twins Braves. Braves. Okay, Braves win it. I see Matt. Yes, I see Matt Olson up on there with homers. Acuna. Obviously, Michael Harris, Acuna. Really, really good team. Great season. I'm really, really happy with that. We got a lot of messages come through here now. Okay, new budget. Okay, I mean, that is phenomenal. I mean, that's exactly what we want. I mean, our budget has been upped by 24 million, I believe. Okay, that's massive. That's huge for us. We haven't got the lowest budget anymore. 24 million improvement to budget is phenomenal. I mean, that's exactly, what having a good season like that can do. First base coach retires. I'm happy with that anyway. I want to get my own, as many of my own sort of coaches as I can in. New goals as well here. So don't suck completely again. More than happy with that. What we will do is actually we'll just go to see it in the owner screen here. Okay. So team record, don't suck completely. More than happy with that. Upgraded positions, shortstop, Nick Allen. I mean, we got Workman. Will he be an up? Unless he does. If he does perform this season, he will. But I'm not sure if he'd be too happy that we got till 2020. Oh, that is next. So that's next season. We want us to increase attendance. That's a very high priority. We're currently at 22,500. He wants to. I mean, that's not. I mean, unless we have a phenomenal season, that's not going to be happening. We can't discuss that either. Increase profit. I mean, if he's up in our budget and then wants us to end with 21 million, I mean, we want to be spending all the budget he gives us. Really, I don't know if that is in profit in terms of money available. I mean, I think I'm assuming he just means straight up profit. I mean, last year we were 7 million in the green. Well, I don't know if that's just how much money we had available. Oh no, so last season, sorry, we made a profit of 21,780,000. Predicted, for 51 million again this year. We're going to be spending a lot of that, so maybe that is doable. Still want us to increase, keep building our farm, improve fan interest. Currently at 48, so we want us to improve it again. Improve your amateur, international free agent. Okay, that's by 2020. I'm actually, really, really happy with this goal actually, because that's something we definitely look to be doing. Drafting some of these international amateur free agents, hopefully bring them up to the majors. Really start making, a push to actually be a good team. Realistically, obviously, he wants us to make the playoffs by 2028. Okay, I'm more than happy with it. I mean, if we have till 2028 to make the playoffs, that's 5 years from now to, draft some international amateur free agents, get them up to the majors, really improve our team. We've got to build our farm system by the end of next season. Start increasing our fan. I'm really, really happy with these goals. I mean, we can discuss a couple of them. Maybe the shortstop, I'll have a look. I'm going to accept that because if we can find a top 20 prospect, I mean, that's what we realistically want to do. Obviously, Soderstrom's our highest ranked prospect at the moment at 68. But if we can find a much better prospect, we either trade for one, draft one, and he wants us to do it by 2026. So I'm really, really happy with all of these goals and where I think we can go with this. But realistically, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to end the episode here. So we sort of, took a bit of a dive into all the statistics, see where we can go from here. I mean, realistically, if we go into our lineups, if we clear all of this, clear all depth charts as well. I mean, realistically, for next season, we're going to have Capel, right field, Langleys, catcher, Tolia, first base, Estru Ruiz, centre field, as well as Cabrera can play second. We're going to play Workman at shortstop. DH left field. I mean, Jordan Diaz isn't a DH really. Can play third base. So can Jonah Bride. I mean, we do have the potential to sort of, just run with these two guys at third. The only problem is they don't play phenomenal defense at third. But I'll be okay with it for now. Then we've got Seth Brown at left field. Not sure if I want to keep with him. Maybe give him another go. Realistically, we need to get DH in, but I'm okay with bringing in another left fielder. We got Perez backing up at catcher. Allen can back up. Defensive. Jonah Bride as well here. You can also play first. So you can join Diaz. obviously, a lot of this I'm going to change when we come to it. Obviously, we'll see how spring training goes. See what we can bring in. Obviously, got Pache as well, defensive outfielder. We need to get a DH. We need to get a bit more hitting. Get a DH in. Pitching wise, I mean, realistically, what starters wise, obviously we got JP Sears. I mean, we do need an ace, but obviously we have a lot more money. We'll see what we have in the market. Obviously I'm gonna have to have a think about what we're gonna do in terms of sort of free agency. Obviously with a lot more money, I'll probably change the player development. Probably up this. I mean, I'll do that now. Put up that to 36 million because realistically we want to develop as many of our young guys in the farm system as possible. We've got 3 guys in the top 100 now actually. Geloff is up into top 100. Montgomery's in there. I haven't seen Marauders isn't in. I mean, he's so far away. Really happy with that. Realistically, if we have the money to, I probably want to go through and have a big overhaul to with our coaching system. Improve all the personnel, and then it depends on how much money we're going to have available. I mean, realistically, we're probably going to be able to do that, and then that will set us up for future seasons realistically, but it depends upon who's available. In free agency, we'll have a look who's going to be available in terms of sort of salary arbitration for us. Krismat will stay, Morahan will stay, Blackburn will stay. It'd be stupid to let go of him, really, even though he wasn't great last season. Not sure about Joe Wyland. Doesn't have a great profile. He's 33, and he was actually below average for us in the majors last year. Perez will stay. Tyler Wade, I'm unsure about. Really didn't do well for us up in the majors. Great in AAA, but Seth Brown, I'm sure, will stay. Laureano, 4 million if I can get a move for him. That'd be great. Candelario's leaving. Aguilar's leaving. Try and offer some, minor league extensions to sort of probably Pozo here. Dermis Garcia. Pablo Reyes. I'll probably sort out a lot of these, but I think I'm gonna finish up there. And then next episode, we'll jump into the off-season. We'll go through all the international free agents, sort all of that out, sort of month to month. Build up to that sort of, that draft, sort of the signing of that. And I believe that's sort of early next year. And then obviously, move forward into spring training. We'll get the off-season done. And then hopefully, we can start the 2024 season. Moving on from here, I mean, really, really positive with the budget. And hopefully we can keep on improving from here. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. Obviously we jump into off season next one. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. If you like any sort of special requests of what you'd like me to do. Dive into certain stats. Please do let me know if you'd like me to sort of speed up a little bit. But I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you in the next one.